Luffy is really starting to come along as like an emperor type figure. It sounds like he wants to take Wano for his territory, and I am digging it. Hey guys, ForTheAfro Reviews here. Today I'll be reviewing chapter 918 of One Piece. In this chapter we start off with Luffy knocking the hell out of Hold'em from last chapter, and before I get any further, because I missed last chapter, there's only one thing I want to mention. Why can Hold'em's lion shoot fire out of its belly? Why is that? It doesn't matter. Anyway, Luffy knocks the hell out of Hold'em. Everyone's really surprised because Hold'em's by no means weak. It's just that Luffy's insanely strong. So they're all like, whoa, Hold'em got knocked out in one hit. Zoro is kind of like, crap, Luffy. There we go. I knew that was going to happen. Telling on Kiku and all the food to keep going. They're still going to the town. And then Luffy grabs Tama out of the air before he hits the ground, starts running away, and he sees a horse. He's like, well, the back of a horse, and he goes and jumps on it. Turns out to be Speed, another headliner. Freaking Luffy. So Luffy, when he jumps on the horse, is grabbing her from the back, and she's kind of enjoying it, like she's being hung from the back. She's like, oh, being embraced like this, you know, like being hilarious, a little heart in her speech bubble and everything. But then she realizes what's going on. She's like, what the hell are you doing? Get off me. And then Luffy's like, hey, Tama, feed her a dongo. And Tama just immediately is like, this isn't gonna work, dude. That's not how my power works. She's a human. Like, no. But she plops one off anyway, and then like kind of offers it to her, and Speed like looks at it and just gobbles it right up immediately. I don't think Tama had to force it to her or anything. I don't know if this is because like the dongo looks delectable if you're an animal or part animal and you just want to eat it like instinctually, or if it's just because Speed's dumb and she's like, ooh, food. But either way, it's really dangerous because it works. Her dongos work on Smile users, and this opens a lot of questions like, does it work on regular Zoan users, does it work on minks, etc, etc. So I hope we get some clarification on that in the future. I would imagine it would work on minks, but not Zoan users, because they're base humans. And I mean, I know minks are like basically humans but in animal skin, but like they're animals, you know. I don't know, it's kind of weird to explain, but I basically think that it would work on mink still. So if there's a mink in Kaido's crew, which I think is inevitable at this point, I think it would work on him. Thinking about this a little bit more in depth, if Tama just feeds the Dongo Ball to pretty much all the knockdown enemies throughout the arc, she could have a whole army by the end of this, like straight up a whole army that are just completely loyal to her because of her Devil Fruit power, and that is insane. And on top of all the animals she could, you know, tame along the way. I'm sure Kaido has a bunch of like random wild animals somewhere. And I mean, she already got the baboon and the Koma Inu and whatnot. I mean, it's a lot of stuff coming along. I'm just waiting for a pheasant because, you know, she's based off that Momotaro story or whatever, I think. We see Tama making the comparison between Ace and Luffy, you know, from that punch, because they both use fire, and I really like that. She actually does the same comparison later in the chapter when Luffy says something. Luffy's saying that like he will make sure that everyone has their fill every day or something along those lines, and that's something that Ace said back before he like left and was saying like, I'll come back, don't worry, and then died. But yeah, something that Ace said. So I really like seeing that kind of heartwarming stuff and how Tama and Luffy's relationship is developing. How Luffy's like, I know she already calls him big brother, but like they really are starting to act like siblings, and she's like this adorable little sister that Luffy just wants to protect. And being someone with very much younger little sisters, like there's like a 13 and 15 year age gap, I personally really enjoy that. That hits me on a level that I love, and it's going through this arc and seeing Luffy kick the crap out of people for Tama is just gonna feel like that extra little smidge of satisfying because of that. So go Oda. So next we get Law versus Hawkins, which I was so confident would be off screen, and I mean it wasn't really finished or anything obviously, but we got some fight, and I'm pretty excited about that, you know. Like, I'm just gonna take what I can get. So Law immediately does like room, you know, and Hawkins is straight up just like immediately, this power, familiar. So he's already like trying to put together that this is Hawkins. Damn it. So Law summons his broom, and Hawkins puts together that it's Law pretty quickly. He realizes the power and that Luffy and Zoro are there, so I mean, it's just only natural that the other member of the Alliance would also be on this island trying to take down Kaido, most likely, because, you know, he also formed a Supernova Alliance to take down this Yonko, but I mean, it didn't turn out super well because Kaido came and messed them up. But like, I think he can put that all together. That seems believable to me. Law takes a rock, throws it near Hawkins, and then uses shambles because he's already summoned his room. Switches him, and then he cuts him like immediately. It's just like basically teleporting right to him for an immediate cut. And then Hawkins redirects the damage. And Law, noticing this, on the next move, he has a really big swing. Like Hawkins is like going for his helmet, like he's using like his straw thing, and he like pierces his helmet. And Law does a really big swing and swings through all of his subordinates at once, to the point where I think this is what happens. I think interpretation, but he swings for all of the subordinates, and Hawkins has to block this attack because his extra lives were all of the subordinates, and they all just got taken out. I mean, they're not dead, but I mean, they're all like, they've all taken so much damage. I think they like surpassed the threshold or something. So now they're all just like kicking it. You know, like they're all on the ground, split in half. But Hawkins can't redirect damage to them anymore, is what I think, and that's why he had to block it, and why he's looking a little strained, you know, towards the end. So basically, I think Law won this exchange, but very narrowly. Also, Hawkins obviously wasn't using his full potential. Still got his tarot cards. I mean, he could make more dummies mid-fight, I think, maybe. I don't know how that works. I mean, no one does, but if it's voodoo doll type things, I think he might be able to. But anyway, I think Law would have won that fight if it kept going. But it gets interrupted by Zoro and Okiku riding through on the food cart thing. They run through. Law hops on, they're getting out of there, and Law is pissed at Zoro. He's like, Zoro, what the hell? You were with Luffy. Why didn't you stop him? And all of that's just hilarious because it's like, well, Zoro causes a lot of trouble too, dude. That was a terrible decision to be like, yeah, Zoro, you be in charge of Luffy. Nope, not a good idea. Next is a happy scene of Zoro and Okiku and Law, I guess now, getting to the leftover town and being like, look, food! You know, giving them a lot of food, which is amazing, but one of the darkest, I think maybe the darkest panel in One Piece is on this page. So it's in the bottom right corner, I think, if I'm remembering right. It's like this lady, she has a knife, like a big-ass knife, over her baby, looking like she's about to kill her baby, and there's a noose in the background. They're that hungry. Wano is dark, guys. Wano is super dark, and I can't get enough of it. Like, that is some real-ass shit, and I'm beyond glad that like the Straw Hats, you know, like are here and gonna help the country, because that has to have happened a good amount of times, I'm assuming, which is really sad. But back to happy, everyone has food now, and they're all eating and whatnot. Tama's eating an apple, she looks super happy. This is when the quote that Luffy says, you know, that reminds her of Ace happens and whatnot, and it's all going good. But we also get a shot of Hawkins, and he's talking to someone on the Mushi, we're not sure who, but they confirm that Jack has been reported to, or maybe this happened earlier in the chapter, not sure, but Jack has been reported to. That is a thing, and it's gonna go down, because now one of the Calamities knows about, you know, the supernova being here, or maybe he doesn't know about the supernova, but he knows there's a threat that can take you out of the headliner easy. So yeah, he's gonna come and take some action most likely, and that's gonna be freaking scary. Like, Leftover Town's gonna get decimated because Luffy, Zoro, and Law weirdly are just leaving it. Like, they're going to the Odin Castle or whatever for something. And I know it's like just up the hill, but I mean, yeah, I don't think I would leave Leftover Town right now. Jack is pissed, and the Law, at least, is like aware of what, like, the gravity of what they did. So I find it kind of weird that they're okay with that. So once Law tells them that they're going to Odin's castle, you know, to like regroup or whatever, he says that you're going to learn an unbelievable secret. And Zoro says, like, yeah, I couldn't believe it either. And then it shows the graves of Kozuki Odin, makes sense, Momonosuke, some other Kozuki family member, presumably their mom, and then Kinemon, Raizo, and Kanjuro all in the background, and some more retainers and stuff, which is weird because we know 4 of those guys are alive, like, and I'm pretty positive Odin isn't faking his death, because Momonosuke, Kanjuro, Raizo, and Kinemon all acted really broken up when they were talking about it on Zo. So I think that they're faking their deaths, but Odin's actually dead. And then maybe Momonosuke's mom's alive. I don't know, he's never mentioned her, so I would find it kind of weird if she was alive, but wouldn't be against it. So we'll see about that next week. I love these kind of like cliffhanger type things. I just hope it's not a letdown, like, oh yeah, we're just faking our deaths. I hope there's actually something unbelievable with it too, that like will take me by surprise, you know, really give me something to look forward to next week. Anyway, that wraps up the chapter. The pacing was pretty good in the chapter, I think. Really moved the story along while not going too breakneck fast, you know? Like, we got a little bit of the skirmish between Law and Hawkins, which is good. I thought that'd be off-screen. We got, you know, we got confirmation of how the Dongo Balls work on other people. We got Jack coming in. The Leftover Town is in a better state, and now they're moving on to Odin's Castle, and they're going to progress the story from there. Probably meet up with Law's crew, maybe a couple Straw Hats. please, please, a couple more straw hats. Anyway, that's pretty much it for me, guys. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you're still around, I really appreciate it. Like, I really, really appreciate it. You rock. You specifically. Wait, hold on. You. Sorry, my camera's weird. You. God damn it. You specifically are awesome. So, yeah, have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.